Hey yo, what's going on everybody? It's Tylarious, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. Alright, today's video, I'm going to be kind of going over my thoughts and opinions and the review of what I think of the Los Santos Tuners DLC. Alright, now before we get started, you guys know what to do. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and definitely turn on the bell notifications. Alright, ring that bell so you guys don't miss out on any future content, any future live streams, uploads, videos, tutorials, guides, all that stuff, okay? And hopefully it's going to be a banger. Go ahead and smash that like button, all right? Anyways, listen. So this is it, all right? We've had the DLC out for just about a week, right at a week, okay? And there's been a lot of good things, and actually there's a couple of bad things too. This DLC is not all roses and you know, good fun sprinkles on top of your ice cream. There are a few things that are kind of well, you know, kind of lame. There's some pros and cons, all right? Every DLC has that, but there are a few with the Los Santos Tuners DLC that I definitely want you guys to understand and for me to talk about, all right? So let's talk about a few of the pros here. Let's talk about the content, right? I think honestly the DLC has great content. There's a lot more than what everybody thought would be coming out with this DLC, all right? You got 10 cars that got released on the actual DLC update day, and then there's actually 7 more drip fed cars. You've got 6 new contract missions, and that's the main way to make money in this DLC is with those contracts. And honestly guys, listen, the making money in this DLC is not a pro overall, okay? Now, with that being said, if we did not have the Cayo Perico heist, the contract missions, that payout would be top 3, if not one of the best ways to make money in this game. Okay, let me be very clear on that. The contracts, even though they're not, you know, good compared to everything else in regard to Cayo Perico, they're still one of the better ways to make money for solo players. They're easy, and they're fun. Okay, so we got 6 new contracts, and we have more coming with drip-fed content. But let me be clear with that. With, you know, the contracts are the best way to make money with this DLC, but because of the Cayo Perico heist, pretty much every way of making money traditionally is out the door with that, because the Cayo's going to be the best way to make money regardless. Okay, there's no way around it. So keep that in mind. If the Cayo is solo, it's easy, it's fun, you know. But if we did not have the Cayo Perico heist, the contracts would be one of the top ways, if not the top way to make money for an active method, you know, actively making money in the game. Okay, so let's be clear on that. It's a pro and a con for the money making, but you know, the racing and stuff like that, it's just not, the money's not there. Okay. But let's talk about the races, the pursuit, the time trial, the Los Santos speed races, you know, everything. All that, those are really cool. I like how you have some, you know, challenges inside the car meet. You have races outside the car meet. Those are a lot of fun. The pursuit are a blast. You know, that's super cool. And speaking of the car meet, let's just talk about that. That's a great idea. It's kind of lame that we have to be forced underground, right? To have a car meet location that is free from, you know, people griefing and stuff like that. And I say free from people griefing. There's going to be glitches that get people to, you know, get weapons in the game. Rockstar just issued a patch removing weapons from the car meet location. So they've already found it. They've already found a way. And there's going to be multiple ways. And eventually, let's be clear, eventually, you know, these guys are going to find a way to get guns into that Los Santos car meet area. And it's just going to, you know, so enjoy it while you can. Enjoy it while you can. Just trust me. I mark my words. There's going to be a way for people to get weapons in there and to grief you. They are all just at their keyboards and on their you know, their cracked out consoles, and they're trying to find ways to get inside there with weapons. Let's be clear, okay? It's going to happen. So the content is great. I love it. It's a breath of fresh air. I talked about that already. It's exactly what we needed. I've said this several times on video. I've said it really a million times on video, to be honest. But recently I've said it, you know, and people have kind of like, oh yeah, you're right. But GTA is not a military sim game. It's not a PvP game. It's not a try-hard game. It's not. That's not what GTA is, okay? It is a criminal underground game. There are PvP elements, but that's nowhere near the main focus, okay? There's like, you got death matches, yeah, stuff like that. But GTA is not a game to just be, throwing orbs and Mark II rockets at everybody. Okay, let's be clear. It's to make money, to go against the actual NPCs. Allow me to clear things up here. Your main adversary in the Grand Theft Auto world is not another player. It is against Rockstar. It's against the game. That is your adversary. That's the way it was intended. That's what Rockstar intended, right? And then everything else just kind of happened. All right, so the content is fantastic. Now, I see the content as being a definite pro. They listen to the community on certain things, right? People were wanting the Tuners type DLC for years. All right, and we got something to that. This is like a Tuners and Outlaws and like an import-export, like, part 2, things like that. And not really a part 2, but kind of like an import-export side mission with the vehicle deliveries you can do inside your auto shop. A lot of good content. Speaking of the auto shop, that's really fun. I like that whole concept, the whole business part of it, right? You can export the vehicles, you can soup them up and stuff like that. I think that's fun. Again, the pay is nothing crazy, but it's a cool way to make money. It's different. The exotic vehicles, I still feel the exotic vehicle list is kind of bugged out. I know some people get the vehicles. I still have yet to find a blue dot on, and yes, I've done contracts, blah, blah, blah. I just think it's just glitched out for some people. That's just, it is what it is. I mentioned this in a tweet. I do believe this DLC has absolutely just maxed out what Rockstar... this game is an 8-year-old game, and they're pushing all these DLCs on here, and it's this DLC really showed the age of this game. There's a lot of bugs with it. There's a lot of little glitches here and there, a lot of loading issues and things like that. So again, expanded and enhanced is absolutely needed. It really is. It really is. Okay, a little bit more about the content. The clothes aren't very good. And they're, nothing crazy, nothing special about the clothes. There's a couple of fun little things. I always like to see cool clothes to be able to get in the game and stuff like that. And the clothes are, locked behind the reputation points. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But no big deal with that. Everyone, was like, oh yeah, quality of life update. Yeah, we're getting that because, Rockstar talked about that in the patch notes. Let's be clear about what the quality of life update or the features really are. Okay, we got two things that I can figure out here. You can customize your radio station wheel, right? And you can now hit one button to claim all of your snacks, as before you had to spam the button to acquire your snacks. That's it. That's it. That is not a pro in my book. Those two things, for one, should have already been in the game. And two, for one, I don't even listen to the radio. I have the radio turned off. Like, you can go in your settings and just turn the volume down for the radio station. You can go to the game settings and you'll never hear it because I'm a streamer, I'm a video maker, I make content, and it's all copyright. You get copyright every time you have one of these songs play in your game. Okay, so that's not a pro to me. And really hitting one button to fill up your snacks, when it takes like 5 seconds to just spam the button to get your snacks. That's not really that big of a deal to me. It's a cool feature. Yeah, it should have already been in the game. That's not a quality of life win. That's not a pro in my book. Is it nice? Yeah, sure. Okay, whatever. Right, but it really doesn't. It's no big deal. Now, I would say that the radio station, customization, I think that's a bigger deal than the snacks, really. Because I think a lot of people out there listen to the radio station. Content creators are kind of different because we copyright issues. Again, I don't know why Rockstar can't figure out a way for us to listen to the music and not be copyright struck from YouTube. And YouTube, I don't know why we get copyright. You're one of the biggest music platforms out there. Like, what? That's a different video though. Okay, a lot of cool features, but some of these features have led to some of the issues in the game as well. Let's talk about the drifting. Right, you can put low grip tires. Well, it's broken the Calico. The Calico is now the fastest vehicle in the game. In a straight line. All right, if you have those low grip tires and you try and go to a race, it's not going to work. So it's a little bit of a balance, but that's not intended. That was never intended in the game for the Calico to be faster than the Vigilante. Let's be real. And it's because of those low grip tires. It's because these features being added to a game where the mechanics are 8 years old, and it's just it's dated. It needs a rebuild. Okay, so let's be clear on that. So a few little glitches, and I hate to see where one car dominates And I will be honest, I think that even with the drip-fed cars that come out, I think the Calico will probably still be on top. Even if it's not, again, it's the same issue. You've got one car that dominates everything. And the only reason why you're buying the other vehicles is because you're just a car collector and you got a bunch of money, right? So let's be clear on that. Some more of the cons that we're talking about here. I mentioned the profitability of the game. It's really just the contracts. That's going to be where the main money is. And I think that's going to hurt the playability a little bit. And overall, for this DLC, I know a lot of people loved it. They were all like, yeah, so this is what we wanted, right? I agree. For the average player, though, I don't think this DLC will hold playability for them, because the average player is not going to be a top racer, right? They may run these contracts, but they may not find it as easy as some of the money grinders out there, right? So if you're a racer, you're good. If you're a money grinder, you're good. If you're just a freak like me and you just want to play this game all the time, you sleep, eat shit, and dream about it, then yeah, it's good, right? But for the average player, I don't think this is going to hold a high level of playability. They'll buy some cars, max them out here or there. That's really about it. Let's talk about the rep, okay? The reputation points, getting the reputation points on here. As soon as we discovered there was rep points on my live stream, the first thing I talked about, don't make it like the Arena War points, Rockstar. Please don't do that. And oh man, Rockstar just doesn't let you down, do they? It's just like the Arena War points. All right, you have 1,000 levels before you can max out your reputation. 1,000, right? That means, from what has been data mined and figured out and leaked, it's going to take you almost 1 million rep points. Almost 1 million rep points. Over 999,000 rep points before you reach rank 1,000. Okay? And people did the math. That's thousands and thousands of races. Thousands of them. Thousands. What? That's just not cool. That's not fair. That's not cool. That's ridiculous. That's just too much. It's too much. And that's going to, when people find all this out, they figure it out, it hurts the playability of the game. And what do you get for rank 1,000? Like a hat or like a clothing article? All your clothing articles are locked behind these rep points. Now, a lot of the features are going to be unlocked around the 100 rank level, right? And that's okay. That's not that big of a deal. But almost 1 million rep points to what the? Come on. So what this does is it forces people really, to kind of, AFK their way through these rep points. All right. And that's how shitty is that when a feature in the game encourages you to spend more time AFK, AFKing your console or your PC version of the game to acquire these rep points. Because, of course, to acquire the rep points, to acquire the max amount of rep points, you have to win races that are tied to acquiring the rep points, right? Wearing the clothes, you have to go into the daily, or you have to go into the car meet location every single day to get the bonuses, to get, do your little things in there, you switch your license plate, go into the time trial and back out, right? And that's what you're forced to do over and over and over and over and over and over and over, plus win these races. What if you're not a good racer? You're just not going to accumulate the points faster or as fast. So it forces you to AFK, and anybody that reaches rank 1,000, if they tell you that they did an AFK, 85 to 90% of the way to get there, they're lying. Let's just be clear on that. They're lying. All right. We're talking thousands of races you have to win. All right. Something like what? It's like almost 5,000 pursuit races you'd have to win. That's a lot. Okay. For anybody. So the rep points for me are a huge con for this, because Rockstar had a great opportunity with these rep points to make it grindy, but to make it fun and attainable. It shouldn't take more than, let's say, I don't know how many hours it should take, but not what we're talking about here. We're talking thousands of hours, hundreds of days of gameplay, right? That's just too much. That's way too much. Come on. So That for me puts a big damper on it because I was super worried. We found out there's going to be like a reputation point system that is going to be like Arena War points. And at least with the Arena War stuff, at least with that, you can just buy what you want. You know, you can grind it to get the unlocks, but you can just buy it. You know, there's tons of vehicle liveries that are hidden behind and locked behind the Los Santos Tuners reputation points. When everybody uses those liveries until we unlock them, right? There's clothing articles you can't get into. So that's kind of a bummer. It forces you, you know, and so a lot of people will never be able to experience that part, those kinds of content in the game. The trade prices are attainable, but still locked behind. You can buy those, you know, you can just buy the trade price for the vehicles outright. That's the only thing you can do. So, you know, again, a lot of good stuff with this DLC. It is a breath of fresh air. I love anytime there's a DLC that just brings GTA back to its roots. Grand Theft Auto, you know, stealing cars, being, you know, part of a criminal underground organization. That's great. I love that. That's fun. All right, but when they make it to where it's just like almost unattainable to reach certain things, when they put a point system in there, you know, it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be this difficult. Okay. Let's move on a little bit from that. Let's talk about KDJ and Sasanta. Listen, I think they're cute. I think they're a cute couple. I think it's super adorable and lovey-dovey. But it's getting a little weird. It's getting a little much. I really wish that we had more of Hao and Mimi. I think Hao and Mimi would have been great characters to have more exposure in this DLC. KDJ and Sasanta, you know, going back and forth, and kind of they're kind of taking too much credit for what we do out here. Okay, this is we're the ones that are making this. We run this. Okay, let's be real here. All right. So it's getting a little annoying though. Their phone sex and stuff like that. It's, you know, nothing. It's not too terrible, but it's getting to be a little bit much. It's like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. It's just getting a little weird. But you know, again, it is what it is. So these are my thoughts on the DLC. There's more stuff I could talk about, but it'd be like an hour-long video. This is where, you know, I'm at with it. I think we'll say out of 10, let's give it a solid 7.5. 7.5 out of 10. Right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What is your rank for this DLC? Out of 10 or out of 100? Whatever. I think it's a lot of fun. I think overall it's good, but the rep points kind of messed it up. A few of the little glitches in the game kind of mess it up. Which, you know, I've said this before. I've said it a million times. Rockstar is 100% at getting things 80% right. And here we go. A perfect example right here. All right? Overall, I do like the DLC. I enjoy it. I will have a good time with it. And yeah, man, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you guys think about the DLC? Where do you rank it? I know a lot of you will be like, oh, I love it. I love it. I'm just kind of trying to keep it real with you, right? There are cons with this. There are some negatives. And I just want to have an honest discussion with you guys. But yeah, there you have it. Here's the video. My thoughts, my opinions, honest discussion, pros and cons, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for coming out. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for the Ills and Reels content in the game. Smash, I mean, must smash that like button. See you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out. Yeah.